9, 8.
You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey, happy Monday. We got Robbie and we got John today. So we got a full house. So shout out to, let me see who's in here. Oh, Triple B.
Ronald is here. CJ Design.
Easy Go Lucky. Preston, Make Two. Let me see.
I got
Barlord,
CJ who fills my IG DMs with art. I've got Kyle, which fills my Facebook Messenger with amazing culinary art. I almost feel like I don't have to do anything anymore than just open apps.
So, Jay, keep an eye out. I think Kyle's sending you a picture of the burger that John was raving about. So let us know when that comes through. All right. So who else
Kyle's
in the
a
house?
competition level cooker. I mean, we just kind of tend to think of Kyle as, he's the experienced guy or whatever. And I'm not trying to minimize that. Kyle's a competition barbecue guy. In the culinary world, that's not nothing. You know what I mean? When you go out there and sort of throw down and have success and stuff like that, you've got some chops. And I think this burger is a real sort of indication of where his chops are.
Marcus, what's happening? Robbie Roach, what's going on, buddy? Let's see. Who else? Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Triple B, I got. Make Two. CJ, you shout out CJ.
This morning I woke up and I saw an ad for what Robbie was doing for PCP. So you know what I did this morning? Turned on The Invisible Man.
It's a great movie,
right,
bro. James Well classic.
It's from like the vintage black and white era, which is like my favorite.
Okay, all right. That's all right. So I know Robbie went to see Dune over the weekend. We were just talking about that. And so John, you've seen it how many times now?
Well, are we doing a contest or should I?
Well, no. So the randomizer is broken. I was talking to Kyle, right? So So we don't know what's going on. We don't know how long it's going to take to fix. So what's going to happen is what we're supposed to give away for the 2,500 subs is going to probably get pushed back to next week unless we hear from Kyle that something like all of a sudden it's working or whatever.
Okay.
All right. So no, we're not going to use that for the trivia question. So how many times have you seen it?
I've seen Dune 6 times, and
6. It's been out how many days?
3, 4.
Wow.
4. Well, the day it comes out, I just go.
Okay.
You're like, I'm there all day. It's almost like I clock into work. It's like Flintstone. I put in the time card, the pterodactyl bites it and I sit down. I will say this. The tagline, like nothing you've ever seen before, I don't think that's quite true. Beyond that, I would recommend people to go see Dune as many times as they can. It's a treat for the eye. Also, we're sort of in, and I'm sure Robbie would have a more correct term for this. We are in the post, at least to me as a movie fan, we are in the post superhero movie stage now, right? Era where we've had everything that led up to superheroes. Then we had about a decade of Marvel Studios making like $5-6 billion, whatever it comes to. And now we're sort of moved on and we're sort of still doing IPs, but you know what I mean? Things like Dune, and we're seeing other things that they're talking about doing more of, right? So I feel if you don't support these other things, we sort of wind up with this wheel spinning situation. And this is exactly one of the secondary things they were talking about during the creator strike. They were like, look, what pushed a lot of this AI technology stuff was the need for people like me to see new Marvel content every week.
Right.
Right. And that sort of had the unforeseen circumstances. It pushed certain people, marginalized them, shoved them to the sidelines. And to me, I love movies because they're movies are for everybody. Maybe not every movie is for every person. I'm not going to sit through rom-coms, but they should be made, and there should be, what's the word I'm looking for? there should be resources out there to get those movies made. You know what I mean? Like as much as I like superhero movies, not every investor dollar should be taken by Avengers 9. You know what I mean? Like there should be something out there for those kind of sappy stories, the historical stuff like Oppenheimer. To me, that's sort of the post-superhero stuff. Oppenheimer, Barbie, and I think Dune 2 kind of fits right in there, right? Huge scape, it's very much on that level of, Lord of the Rings and some of these other things where you've created these huge universes. And
somebody asked, it was either Stevie B or Triple B, I don't know. Yeah, you're going to want to watch the first one before you go out and watch the second one there, bud.
The only way I say to not do that is if you're some kind of like hardcore Frank Herbert fan.
Then you would saw the first one.
You know what? Yeah, then you probably would have already seen the first one.
Yeah,
but
that's neither here nor there.
You've got to really
it's complex. I have to say. So, Robbie, you seem to have a positive impression as well.
Oh yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a tremendous film, and to kind of pick up on what John was saying, like I do love that we're in this era now where we are driving people into the theater with different movies aside from just superheroes, and it's showing Hollywood that yes, we need to invest in other properties. We can't just put all of our eggs in one basket, right? Because then when that franchise fails and starts slumping, then you're kind of like screwed a little bit, right? So they found something really special with this Dune movie because the director is making, like, I think somebody in the chat was saying it's like an art house film, like designed for the mainstream. And it is. It's a beautiful film with like lots of layers and rich, complex ideas. And it's just gorgeous. And the music and like I was worried that it had been too long since I'd seen the first part. Man, I got thrown right back into this world. But what really astounds me, and John will know what I'm talking about, is that this is a very slow, deliberately paced movie, but the pace of the narrative is very fast, and it covers big chunks very quickly without feeling disjointed or long at all. In fact, when the movie was done, I was like, oh no, it can't be done. Like it just started, right? It didn't feel short, but it didn't feel as long as the running time would let you feel like it is.
So, and I want to respond to Ed Weird. So, Ed Weird, I think that Dune 1 is watchable for someone with no Dune knowledge. All right. I know what you're saying about the first one by David Lynch. Okay. So,
in all fairness, I love David Lynch. David Lynch can sometimes not be super accessible for everybody, especially I think.
I want to say this. I'm not going to blame David Lynch.
Oh, I'm not blaming him. No.
But it was not entirely within his control. Okay, De Laurentiis wanted it shaved to 2 hours. There was no way you were telling that story in 2 hours.
That's very true.
So Lynch wanted it to be 3 hours, which I think he would have been able to tell the whole story, because the book itself is very complex. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of it was odd. It was one of those books. The characters would talk to themselves a lot in the book. Okay, It would be thoughts, and I knew that this was going to be a challenge to put on screen. How do you translate? There's a lot of talking to yourself in that book. So, especially Paul talking to himself, especially as he was getting to the cusp of becoming, the Muad'Dib and all that. There was a lot of talking in his head. Well, that's the journey even of itself, the journey in his head. Yeah. The journey for the hero to discover himself, so to speak. That's, I think Lynch did a decent job. Okay. It was unfortunate that it ended up, not being a big hit at the time, but a lot of it had to do with people were not familiar with Dune. But again, I thought it was well done given what parameters he was restricted to. But I also came out of that movie going, if you didn't read the book, you have no idea what the heck's going on. Okay, there's no way. There's no time to do it. So the way they did this time by splitting it into two movies, I thought was the right call.
Well, I think we have Herbert and Asimov as a response, and I've read this in a couple different places. 40s and 50s science fiction tends to be very simplistic. Mm-hmm. Like I love Robert Heinlein. But Robert Heinlein is not a deep author. I say this to let you. Robert Heinlein wrote Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Which I find eminently entertaining as a movie, but it's not nearly as complicated as some of the things written 10 years later by Isaac Asimov and Foundation, Frank Herbert and Dune. These guys were like that next generation of sci-fi writer that were like, this stuff is like popcorn summer movie. I mean, the very first book I ever read, an actual book as a child that I read, was Robert Heinlein's Space Cadet. And if you read that as an adult, it is a children's book. That's like the level it's written to. Now, if you pick up Foundation or Dune, much more appropriate to what we're talking to, it is literally water and ink. You know what I mean? Space Cadet, you get the premise of that in about 3 paragraphs. And by the next 3 paragraphs, you know how the book's going to end. Where you read 3 paragraphs of Foundation and Dune, you're not even sure you're reading the same language. Like it's forcing you to go deeper, right? Where, you know, I know people who read like the back of a Heinlein book jacket. Yeah, I know what happens. I got it.
So, Robbie Roach, unfortunately, I know which one you're looking for, have not yet. So I don't know if Ken is doing more, but we are completely out of inventory in-house. I will keep my eye out because, you know, sometimes you know, something gets lost in a long box somewhere and it pops out, but I will keep an eye out.
I can message Ken right now. What do you want him to draw? Robbie, anybody need anything else?
So Robbie Roach, it's going to be Robbie, okay, Rockin' Robbie, who's going to be doing that sketch cover for you. So by the time you're in a nursing home, Robbie should have it completed.
You want a Joker? I can do a Joker. That's easy.
You can't rush genius.
Then he must be the most brilliant man on the face of the earth.
And yeah, that it was like Jay put that up in the chat. Please, fill out your Amy's. You know, Amy's got a lot going on.
Robbie, Thundercat Metal, I had one. I literally had one. Everything else has been reserved for previews and pre-orders that came in. So I had the one that fell through, which I brought onto the show. I'm sorry about that, buddy.
Here we go.
Yeah. Keep
Y'all
an eye out for when we get.
When I was down in Pennsylvania, and I went, and that's what it reminded. I almost texted Nick. We need to do time
right in the middle of John telling a story too. Y'all were frozen.
Good.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
There they are. Y'all there?
Nope,
they're not.
So I think your first sketch cover should be an Immortex cover. Just saying. Just throwing that out there.
I've never tried to draw a Immortex. It's too complex of a design. I like how they pop in for just a little bit. Did you get a chance to watch Dune yet, Jay?
No, not yet.
Did you like
saving
the first
that
one?
for like I think I only had one real day off last week. I worked a lot this week, so planning on doing it. Move around a little bit, guys.
Are we back?
There we go. Okay.
Oh Lord, I swear.
Good
14
evening.
minutes in. Yep.
I just said to Rex, I'm wondering if something goes on like in the area. It's always like 10, 12, 15 after 6 our time. And I can't help but wondering if like something is going on.
Well, I'm sorry we cut off, guys, because John was explaining the meaning to life, and it was surprising how accurate he was.
That's it, everybody.
But sorry, you guys all missed it. So, but I want to talk about Dune some more because, I mean, you know, it's been a while. It feels like it's been a while. You had Barbie, you had Oppenheimer, but it feels like it's been a while.
I think we had doldrums from the pandemic, and then we had the strike. Like kind of, I don't want to say back to back, but kind of on one after another, right? So you had a lot of projects stop and start. They fall apart. They've always said that talent's schedules are like dominoes, right? I'm doing a movie here, a movie here, a movie here. Well, you know what I mean? There's a lot of talent in Dune.
Right.
Super
like Mario Brothers. Yeah, you're right, Marcus. But it just feels like, I don't know. But it does seem interesting that yeah, I know, CJ, I'm kind of sad about that, but we all knew it was coming. I knew it was coming this morning when he called the press conference and said, no keg picks this year, which to me said he was retiring. So
I mean, let's be honest. He did everything. Essentially he could do in his career.
Totally in agreement. I am totally in agreement. Nobody, I don't think in the city of Philadelphia would fault him at all for wanting to retire, especially given the brutal position of center. Your first point of contact, they're coming at you. Every defensive line is coming at you.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just. I hope that guy goes on to enjoy his life, whatever he chooses.
Yeah, and I have no doubt he will. But I do want to continue discussion on Dune because I'm excited. I'm excited, and I was saying that my daughter and I are supposed to go to the movie theater IMAX to see this, and this will be one of the few times I'm going to get there, only because I want to see it on in the epic fashion that it's meant to be seen.
And that's the other thing I would recommend if you have. We'll say an enhanced experience theater in your area, make the effort, drive the extra 10 minutes, pay the extra $10, like whatever the situation is.
Yeah. I watched it in IMAX and it was glorious and the sound is amazing and everything about it was just so cool. And what I loved is the theater I go to, it's the AMC in my town. And it's like not the most popular theater. Like there have been like 4 new theaters built since it was built. And you know how that goes. Whatever's newest is usually the one everybody goes to. Yep. So usually if I go in there at like 11:30 on a Sunday morning, everybody in Alabama's in church. I just get the whole theater to myself. Man, that place was packed. A lot of people skipping church to go see Dune Part 2, man.
You know what? They can square it away with Jesus later. I wouldn't want to miss that movie. I'd be like, Jesus, look, well, we'll make it right. I'll go twice on another Sunday. But
all right, so let's get started. All right, so let's start with sketch covers. I saw Ron was in the house, so we might as well start with that. All right, we got some nice ones. So first up, we have Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones #1, signed with Daredevil cover sketch by Jessica Court and Mariano Nicieza. And I forgot to write
the email this morning.
I forgot to write Mariano's name in on the sheet. So that's why it says Jessica Court and MSRP $149.99. Sorry, Mar, my bad. All right, so we have this one for $85 tonight.
Wow, that's nice.
Nice, isn't it?
I'm surprised maybe Nick didn't want to keep this a little bit. It's Daredevil.
I don't think they've seen it, to be honest with you.
I would be the worst publisher and comic owner ever. Because you'd be like, here's the stuff to sell this week. And I'd be like, no, man, I'm not selling that. Are you crazy?
It's kind of like that now.
It is with original art, man. That original art show is going to be down in like 10 minutes. This is all I'm willing to sell tonight. Yes? No? Okay, good night, everybody.
No, I'm saying we should check your trunk, dude. It's pretty much you are the publisher. You're taking comps on with you. Hey, Big John. All right, next up, we got Captain America #1, signed with Secret Wars homage cover sketch by Dan Neidlinger. Oh, you got it, Ron. All right, this one is smoking hot.
Wow, who'd you?
Dan Neidlinger. You got it.
Dan Neidlinger, everybody, in case you didn't hear
it. That is an exact my cover, man. What heroes he had to draw, man?
Yeah.
$95 for all those figures. That's crazy.
Yep, $169.99 is just a retail, and we've got it for $95 tonight.
That ain't gonna last long. That's the best deal we've ever had.
It's easy to do the black
all right,
suit.
Creative Keep, you got it, buddy.
That's not always
good pickup.
Oh boy.
So what are we?
I have no idea.
Yep, it's spotty for them tonight.
Yeah. Great. But until then, here's a burger pick. There we go.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Get a Mini Cooper.
It looks good.
It's old.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's almost.
I like how they just keep going. Like there's like no understanding.
When I back up, beep, beep, beep. Hit the door.
All right. Next up.
Dude, it's so funny you said that. When I retired, that's why I stopped with the trucks and SUVs.
I just wonder what the
we
story
are back
is.
again. Comcast. I have no idea what's going on.
That burger was it flashed up there, and I'm like,
I saw that.
Worth it.
Flash it up again, Jay. Oh, come on.
Yeah, it was not good.
There. Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Kudos, Kyle.
Kyle messaged me, I guess it was yesterday.
What kind of bread is that?
That's ciabatta bread.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the things I've learned is people, they say, and I don't know.
Easy go lucky. John says ciabatta.
I am not a big believer in this. I know people in this part of the country are like, you can't get good bread anywhere else.
What?
You can't get bread made in the city here anywhere else. But there are tons of places in this country where you can get really good bread. It's just different. You know what I mean? Like I tell my friends when they move from like maybe Jersey to Florida or to Texas, I'm like, trust me when I tell you, you know, you could be out in Hawaii and find really good bread somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just if you're looking for like the same loaf your grandmother used to bring home with sesame seeds, that's not happening.
Oh, and weird. This is not John. This is Kyle.
This is Kyle's burger.
Yeah. It's Kyle's burger. A Portuguese roll. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Commander and beef.
There used to be a Portuguese food truck that they used to do a hamburgão, and it was like a giant oval 8-ounce beef patty with a giant 8-ounce sort of like a spicy Portuguese sausage patty, and the whole thing was on a Portuguese roll made out of, I think, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
That sounds really
and
good.
It was crazy good. They would butter it and put it buttered side down so that the outside was still a little bit soft, but the inside had this great toasting crunch.
Oh my God, Lyle. Minus 55. Are you kidding me?
Minus 55.
I can't. With wind. So what's that make it? Real feel.
Yeah.
Dude,
it was 75 degrees where I'm at today.
It was pretty warm here too.
You know, yeah, it got into the 60s or like low 60s today for a while.
Yeah,
the only people with a colder outside than Lyle are the people on the space station.
Yeah,
they're like
much.
the only people who know.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. So real feel is minus 62.
And you feel anything at minus 62 for about 30 seconds, and then
even that long,
everything goes white.
That is so cold. Yeah, it's weird. The weather's been kind of weird. I mean, yeah, you can have nice summer weather one day, and then it could be snowing the next. It's getting crazy out there. All right, so let's do one more sketch cover before we got to go to our break.
It's too cold. Expletive included.
All right, next up we have Justice League No Justice #1, signed with Andromeda cover sketch by Tony Scott. It's just a retail of $149.99. We've got this one for $85.
This one's really nice. I like this one.
This one's cool, isn't it?
I like this a lot. When they introduced this character, some of the old school Legion purists didn't appreciate it. I thought this character was great then. I think the character is great now. I think that if you're ever going to do the Legion of Superheroes credit, and I know Michael Bendis tried his best, but no. Characters like Andromeda are where you're going to find your storytelling. There's been too many stories told with Lightning Lad, Saturn Girl. You can use those characters, but you really want to use characters like Andromeda, characters that never sort of got their minute in the sun, so to speak.
All right, hold that thought. All right, Jay, go ahead and take us to our first break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a second. We'll get to the last of the sketch covers.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming dead by sleep.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. We want to thank our friends for allowing us their support and for providing us with the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, Ryan, what's going on, buddy? All right, so rest of the sketch covers. Here we go. So we've got Dawn of DC, Flash #1, signed with Power Girl and Flash cover sketch by Jessica Court. It's just a retail of $149.99, and we've got this one for $85.
Oh, that's a nice riff on the race. You know, kind of like the eternal argument race of.
Yeah, and that's straight up an Alex Ross Flash right there. I think I had a T-shirt with that image on there. That's
I was going to say this sort of.
All right, so then last one of the night, Doctor Strange #1, signed with Silver Surfer, cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
Oh wow!
It's just a retail of $149.99. We've got it for $85.
Oh, look at the many faceted colored like highlights on Surfer. That looks amazing, actually. I'm really impressed.
This was like an homage, not homage. What's the other cover?
Collage.
The collage cover.
It is not.
Like oddly enough,
it is all hand drawn.
Oddly enough, the first thing that got my attention is the planet in the back, and I'm like, wait, is that a collage thing? Is that actually drawn on, or was that
everything you see on that was drawn on?
That is crazy. I'll tell you, man. Silver Surfer fans, your time has come. I don't know if I've seen one. I don't know if I've seen a cover art that. Wow, I'm kind of a little bit
they did a nice job.
Speechless there.
There you go. They did a nice job. All right, so let's get
Ron
the.
Wants it, by the way.
Huh? Oh, you got it, Ron.
Yeah, Ron, man. As always, nice pickup. I'm just looking at this thing. Everywhere you look on the cover, you see something.
Pow.
You know,
it's like pow.
Yeah.
I have to admit, you know, the collection of artists that he has doing sketch covers for us, Mariano, it's a quality, the range. It's
when you consider how many thousands of hopeful artists Mariano has just crushed their dreams of professional work, the law of averages says a few people would meet his demanding standards.
Oh man,
crushing.
I'm just sometimes I listen to him talk to these young aspiring artists, and I'm like, wow, dude.
Let me shoot you the link for Subway's employment site.
I don't even want to be an artist, and I feel like jumping after listening to Mariano talk.
Oh man,
it's like, damn.
And the funny thing is, he's such a nice person.
Yeah. He's very polite, uses very big words. Okay,
but he's letting you know you don't stand a chance of making it in the industry, like definitively.
Well, he uses this one example about Todd McFarlane and how Todd came up and was struggling, and I'm just
story.
like, dude, why you just shot that guy's dog, man? You took his dreams and you crumpled it up in like a piece of paper and tossed it in the wastebasket. It was like, dude.
Do you know what I hear when he says that story? What I hear? Look, if Todd struggled and his talent is light years beyond yours, your chances are non-existent. Get yourself a job, son. Find it.
You gotta feel bad for that guy. Yeah, I mean, I just whoever he's talking to a line, I'm like, damn.
Metalworking is a fine trade. That's what I hear.
Oh my lord! All right, so let's do the kits that we have every show of every week. We have Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. $3.99 cover price or higher, and we've got it as always for $5, 50 cents a copy. Can't lose there. All right, then we have the Dynamic Forces Grab Bag 3-pack. It will include DC, Marvel, and indie titles, and we've got that for $5. Then we have the DF Grab Bag 7-pack, and we've got that for $10.
You know what we should do if we can put one together?
What?
We should do a Jennifer Blood 10-pack. Because Jennifer Blood is one of those characters that her world and those stories are amazing. And more people should be reading it.
And you can try to make requests if you want. If there's something, and if we can do it, we'll always try. I can't guarantee we can do it, but we'll always give it a shot. All right, DF Grab Bag 15-pack. We've got that for $20. Then we have the X-Men Random 20-pack Grab Bag. 20 random X-Men titles from 1990s with a chance of the 1980s or 2000s. The books are 9.0 or better. And we've got that for $20. If you buy all 5 of the Grab Bag combos, so that will be a retail value of $60. We'll do it for half of that and do it for $30. So I think it's like 55 combos for $30. So
it's hard to do.
So Preston, we would try to put one together for you, buddy, if you wanted one.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if someone, this is a character that also, and I'm not saying this, especially without Rachel Holland cosplay, I think that Jennifer Blood is something, and I'm just saying this as a fan. I have no sort of inside information, but as Dynamite's relationships expand with Amazon and Warner Brothers and Disney and blah, 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 I think if Amazon was looking for like, let's call it after midnight type of animated series, I think Jennifer Blood would be really good. The story in Jennifer Blood is rock solid.
Oh, and especially with the success of The Boys, it wouldn't be too far to look to not just another Dynamite property, but another Garth Ennis-led Dynamite property, right?
That's sort of where I was going with that. I'm glad you picked that up. But yeah, I don't think that's, like I said, I'm not saying I know, but I don't think it's super impossible either. It's imaginable.
So, and weird, are you talking about all 5 of the grab bags? My guess would be, if I remember correctly, you're somewhere in the Michigan area. So I would advise sending that ground advantage. So my guess is it would probably be, and I'm guessing again, Edward, but I'm going to guess it'd be probably like $12 to $14. Okay, because we've shipped a few of these before, and the way it comes out, if we ship ground advantage, it usually comes out to about that, give or take. But again, if you lived in California, it would be different than if you lived in Philadelphia, which is right around the corner from us. So distance matters. But I'm thinking that I wouldn't take that to the bank, but I think it's a reasonable estimate. Somewhere between 12 and 14 would be my guess. All right, buddy. So let me know. We still have cash on delivery. We still have
COD. I don't know if I've heard that
in what, 30 years?
Easily. That's funny.
Thundercats #1 cover set. And we still have a handful of those that we pulled from the back. And it includes the blank cover as well, which is not pictured there. And we've got that still at cover price of $34.93, 7 covers in all. All right. Preston, I don't know. I have to get back to you on the dog sled one, buddy.
I got to tell you, man, I see people selling, like stores putting some of these sets together or whatever. And of course, it's all anecdotal. I'm not there. But from what I hear, people are selling these things for. What are we selling this thing for? $34.95?
Yeah, cover price.
Yeah, that's cover price. If you have any interest in that, I would probably get that because I'm hearing people selling cover sets at,
You've heard it here.
They're sold out at Diamond. Shops can't reorder them right now. I think the only ones that we've been able to get have been the foil ones, which have been selling well for us too.
So you heard it from a guy who works in LCS and a guy who's retired, so he has nothing better to do than check this stuff out. Okay. So I can't imagine better sources for this type of information, people. All right, so let's do the sign books real quick. All right, so we've got Spawn #301, Virgin variant signed by Greg Capullo. Suggested retail of $59.99. It is number 23 of 40 signed. We've got it. I'm giving away a signed book tonight, guys. I'm not even playing. $19.92.
And now we're going to fast forward to April when Nick has to come in and say, guys, please buy comics so people think that this is a business and not just an expensive hobby.
All right, Commander Beef, you got it, buddy.
That's a great pickup.
It's because you're selling everything too cheap. That is a great pickup, though. That's a very cool book.
You got it, Commander. I got you, buddy. All right. So next up, we've got 007, number 1, Atlas Edition cover, signed by Philip Kennedy Johnson. It is cover J, suggested retail $49.99. I've got this one for $25.
This is a wonderful cover. I love this. This is perfect.
Well,
you know, even if they're not a comic book fan, like a Bond fan would love to have something like this.
This is sort of, you know, like when Bond is in a movie, it's kind of very, I don't want to say restrictive, but it's slotted. That's the term I understand they use a lot of times these days, slotted. Thankfully, with Dynamite, you know, there's a lot of freedom to go in a lot of different directions. Different creators have every creator has their own sort of favorite Bond story or whatever. I love these, and I am not the biggest like spy guy. I know there are people that are hardcore spy fans. This kind of made me a believer of spy comics.
So, Lyle, Corey, I don't know. He might be, or he might be in transit. So I did get an email from him back and forth towards the end of last week. He did say he was getting ready to go. He might be on a plane right now, and that's like a 14, 15-hour flight, man. So, I'm a little upset. You know, he's halfway across the Pacific. He can't watch the show. What's up with that? Matt Carper, he's got to. Did Matt Carper win on Friday, Marcus? Are you kidding?
No, everybody tried to give him their win.
That's nice. May 2, what are you curious about John's retirement? He obviously watches movies, comes here, reads comic books,
eats good food,
eats food, goes to the beach house that they have during the summer, they rent during the summer, and then comes here, and then goes home
and very close to getting tickets to see Sting's retirement match in Greensboro, North Carolina this weekend. And I was basically, the guy had tickets, but he had promised them to someone first for whatever the cost was. And at first I was like, yeah, if I get him, maybe we'll talk about it. And a friend of mine was like, dude, let's go. And he was so excited to go. I messaged the guy and I said, and these are very good seats. These were like row 7 seats on the floor.
All right. So I understand your question now, mate, too.
I would have very much paid for these tickets.
Well, you got a question, buddy.
What was the question?
Mate, too. You wanted to hear about your retirement.
Oh, what type of job did I have? According to my dad, not a very good one.
A comic book editor. That comic book publisher is out of business, and you can imagine why.
I should have made one up. I worked as a
Commander Beef. John was a thespian.
I was a thespian. Man, I wish I had the talent.
No, he's not acting. This is him.
This
is him for real.
There's no actual John. I just pull the mask off and I go back to the.
What is this? An episode of Scooby-Doo?
Right. I worked as a chef. When I was younger, I inherited my dad's catering business, which I ran into the ground, saved with a breakfast truck where I used to sell breakfast sandwiches. And I thought that was pretty much the most that I would do in life. But I was super fortunate. And I had one skill of making friends. So I was able to grow one breakfast cart to 7 at the most. And then the food truck revolution hit the Northeast. People on the West Coast have no idea what I'm talking about. They've been eating good food off of trucks for decades. Not so much in the Northeast. Weather, mindset was not really, was not really there.
It was not seen as a gourmet type of food.
They were called roach coaches. They were seen as being yesterday's leftovers, repackaged and sold. It took a long time to sort of get that mindset gone. We managed to put a lot of really like high quality chefs that have been nominated for James Beard Awards in trucks. That just wasn't happening 25 years ago. Then I moved on to consulting work. People thought, wow, you guys did a lot for food trucks. Maybe you could do a lot for my bar or restaurant. And that was about another 10 years of my life. And then at that point, I was like, well, you know what? I kind of got into radio. People thought I was interesting on the radio.
Jay.
He cooked the Jungle story. That's not bad.
I like that one.
I contributed to I did technical directing for a few pilots for cooking shows. I did some editing for a cookbook of food truck recipes, had my radio show for about 10 years on different platforms. And then when I turned 55, I was like, you know what? I think I'm good.
Commander and beef. Oh, man.
No, I agree 100%. I agree.
That hurts.
No, he's right.
It may be true, but it hurts.
True, but whatever he wins, take away. No.
Yeah.
So, all right. So there you go, mate, too.
Oh, and through my travels, one of the people I was lucky to meet was Nick. And I was like, oh, by the way, what are you, Nick from Dynamite? And
No. Through your travels, one of the people you were fortunate to meet was Megan Fox. Oh, no, that's Mariano.
I know, that's Mariano. That's not me.
That's the only story you can tell.
I've been fortunate enough. I guess maybe the most famous person I got to feed off a truck was Kevin Smith. I was one of the food trucks on set for Mallrats.
Oh, okay.
This is before he was quite as popular as he was now. They had a few different food trucks on different sides of the abandoned mall they shot this in. And Kevin was, I was super fortunate because I was sort of on the other side and they would sort of sneak out that side access tunnel and I would just sort of mix him up as turkey and pita bread. He was like a big turkey pita bread guy.
John's secret recipe, whatever it is, must involve bacon grease. That's just, I just know it. I don't even need to think about it. Okay.
It's got to probably make cheesecake with bacon grease.
Why not?
Bacon makes everything better.
I agree with that. I'm going with that. Only Kevin Marcus goes weren't their biggest stars in that movie.
Yeah, Stan Lee didn't come to get no turkey and pita.
I think if I remember, I think I met Nick maybe the first time at Wizard World where we had a couple food trucks out past the convention center. And the convention center people were super nice where the first few cons I went to, I didn't really have a con badge. I had an event location badge. They assume that you're part of, what are you for? What are you for? And I was like, well, when you feed all the security guys and all the management people for the event staff, go right in. And I think it was at one of those times Nick was talking about, I happened to see Nick coming out and I was literally buying Dynamite stuff. And my friend's like, what are you doing? I said, I think that's the publisher of these comics that I've got in my hand. I'm going to go over and say hello. And then I caught up with him again in San Diego and again in San Diego. And then I think of Philadelphia. And at that point, he was like, well, I'm either his friend or I file a restraining order. And thankfully, he decided to not file the restraining order.
Lyle, if you're currently eating turkey bacon, spit it out right now, dude. It's not good for you.
I ate my way out of the shirt, but I used to have a shirt that said turkey bacon is neither.
I like turkey bacon, but it is a lie. It is a lie, but I like turkey bacon.
Thank you. It is a lie.
It is a lie.
All right, so we got to go to our second break. When we get back, we'll finish up the signed books.
We're going.
Yes, new format.
No, I knew the 620 thing, but we're doing it again 20 minutes later.
Yep. That's the way it goes.
You will be back.
All right.
Maybe. I don't know.
Take us a break, Jay.
By this time in our journey, we had been on the trail of a very elusive creature for about 96 hours. But all the hard work is about to pay off. Oh, crikey, there she is. Oh, by the markings, I'd say this one's at least a 9.8. Oh, she's a real beauty. A true mint copy. Oh, this one will make a fine slab on anyone's display wall. Oh, she's a feisty one, though. Look out, look out! Mint Hunter Comics is the place to find that Mint comic you've been searching for. Mint Hunter Comics, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, part of the experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
Hey, we're back. Lyle, cracking me up. Hey, Kenneth, what's up, buddy? All right, so here we go. Let's see. You got that right, Preston. I've never heard of anything. Mike Asbell. Come on, dude. You can make scrambled eggs. Everybody can make scrambled eggs.
I know people that mess up scrambled eggs, brother. So yeah, no, not really. I got a sister who burns scrambled eggs every time. I'm like, why do you keep trying? First of all, you got your pan up too high.
Oh, man. All right, so
here's a reason why when you go to apply for a cooking job, especially if you've got prior experience, the first thing the chef or restaurant owner or kitchen manager will say is, make me an omelet, make me an egg. And if you can't control your heat, your butter, whatever.
I can't do the flip.
The flip isn't nearly as important as eggs come in two colors, white and yellow. If you look at eggs cooked haphazardly, there's black, there's brown, there's red, there's all kinds of weird orange or whatever. No. I remember one time I interviewed for a pretty well-known chef in this area, Peter Van Hook, had been nominated for a James Beard Award.
How's the show going?
Probably not as good now, but why? Are you joining us?
Just making sure everything's okay.
Did you see Dune? Did you go and see Dune?
Of course I did.
I thought you did. I thought, wait, what, Friday?
Saturday.
All right. And you thought, well, you love the director, so.
And?
So I already know what you thought. You loved it. And I hear it's great, but.
Go see it in IMAX.
Yeah, well, I plan to. Otherwise,
we were talking about that
yeah.
If you have an enhanced theater in your area, drive the extra distance, spend the extra money, because this is the kind of movie that this was made for. I mean, I know people are going to see almost like rom-coms in IMAX, and I'm like, probably not.
Hi, Robbie. How are you?
I'm great, Amy. How are you?
Because I was afraid that
Very
Amy
well.
was coming in to let us know someone hadn't filled out their form.
I always have to remind people that
Well, that's
guys,
why-
I don't care if we have your info, just fill out the form. Why do you like making me upset?
I thought somebody messed up, and I was like, we told them.
So
But yeah, please do that.
yeah,
Please,
Stick Boy 73. Just so you
please
know.
hit the thumbs up. Please spread the word. Like we love doing this show. We love you guys. We want to make it the best, experience.
Just
can be.
so
Holy shoot, you did there. That was clever.
So Stick Boy. So just like Robbie, John, and I are unlike any host you've probably ever seen on YouTube. This is unlike any other comic sales show you've ever seen, my friend. I promise you.
Yeah,
we're liable to talk about anything.
If you thought I was going to flip books every 90 seconds, no.
Might flip eggs every 90
Might
seconds.
flip eggs every 90 seconds.
Because you don't want to turn it black and brown and all that other stuff.
Depends on the kind of egg you're making, right, John?
I have to admit, I get lazy and I'll scramble the egg in the pan.
You know what? If
He starts trying to make some fried eggs and he just scrambled.
Like, whatever, dude. It all looks the same when you swallow it. G-Man, what's up, man? All right, so was there anything else, Amy, you want to share with us?
Yeah, she was.
Actually, I think I'm good.
Yeah, are you sure?
Yeah, just making sure you guys stay on
okay.
track and.
Okay.
I thought you were coming in to tell Rex to get out of your chair.
Comics movie. Preston, that's a good one. That's a
The
pretty
show
accurate
ends up getting
description.
slower, then maybe I'll just do that. All right.
Probably should.
All right, so let's finish up the.
Seriously, she came in. I thought somebody messed up, and I was
you should see what Commander Beef wrote. John looked at her like his mom walked in on him.
I honestly thought somebody messed up. I'm like, oh no, here it comes. She's got an order without an address, and oh boy, I gotta go.
Oh man! All right, so let's finish up the sign books. All right, as I said, giving them away today. All right, so then we've got Death to the Army of Darkness #1 Atlas Edition, signed by Ryan Parrott.
Nice.
We froze. Awesome. Suggested retail $49.99. I got it for $25. Thanks, mate. Too. Yeah. So Robbie Roach, I can give you an actual answer to that. Let's see.
What's the Mystic Source game?
Mm-hmm. I can.
No, I don't think anybody needs a career retrospective from me.
For April 7th is our first one, buddy. Series of 3 games. So what I do is I pick the location that has turf fields because it's always raining in April. This shows a career retrospective of John. All right. Next up, let's see. Another Army of Darkness. This one is Army of Darkness Forever #1 movie poster foil variant, signed by Tony Fleeks.
Oh wow, this I like a lot.
So this is a foil cover, signed in silver. Suggested retail of $69.99. I got this one for $35.
Oh, I bet I'm going to get this one for less than that.
What?
I said, I bet I'm going to get this one for less than that. No, that's a gorgeous. Man.
It's a gorgeous cover. It's a great book, and Tony is a super cool dude. We just recently had him back on the channel last week, so I encourage everybody, if they get time this week, to check out that conversation. We talk a little bit about Army of Darkness.
So Robbie Roach, I love Robbie Roach.
Army of Darkness is like the cornerstone book for Dynamite.
I'm talking to Robbie Roach right now, buddy.
Well, I'm talking to Robbie, who's got a fistful of awards. So maybe.
Yeah, one of them's for hair.
An armload of awards.
Yeah, but one of them's for hair. How important could that be? Robbie Roach, if you really want to watch, if you are really interested, love to have you on board. I will send you an email to Game Changer inviting you as a guest. So believe it or not, all our games are streamed through an app called Game Changer, which is most youth sports teams use. And the world has come a long way, man.
That's very cool. I like that.
Oh, dude, I actually go back. It's very convenient because I'll actually go back and review games. All right, certain points of the game that was sticking in my mind, and use that. And it's a great app. I mean, I don't know how many people here use it, but it is an absolute. Okay, Stick Boy. there should be you see there is a link pinned to the top of the chat. Hit that. Amy and I will automatically get that email. So whatever request you make, obviously, if you claim something tonight, also hit it. But that's also a great way to communicate with us. Hey, Dwayne's a pain. What's up, buddy? All right. So, but yeah, it's amazing how technology is coming in. It's crazy. This app is also great. It does all the stats for me too. All right. So last 3 signed books. We got The Man of Steel #1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Suggested retail of $29.99. We've got it tonight for $15.
It's a nice cover too.
It's a nice cover. All right. So then we have X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday #1, signed by Mark Guggenheim. Suggested retail of $29.99. I got this one for $15.
This was hard to find at the time. I remember there was sort of like, people were, I don't know if it was under ordered or maybe they didn't have strong expectations for it. But I remember at the time people were, hey, do you know where it is? And I'm like, I think the last time I read a Marvel comic, it was actually Days of Future Past.
This is a cool kind of like throwback, right? Because it was like a prequel in a way. So it showed you all the events leading up to Days of Future Past. Yeah.
Which I think people had wanted for a really long time, right? There were certain things. I'm old enough to remember Days of Future Past, and one of the biggest questions in the comic book store when you saw everybody next week were, what were Franklin Richards' powers as an adult? Because if you read the Fantastic Four, Franklin Richards has scary level of power.
Right.
So you're almost wondering, by the time he's an adult, is it something that wore off, like freckles on a little kid?
Right.
Because I'm wondering, if it doesn't wear off, shouldn't Franklin have ended the Sentinels in like a day? I imagine a reality where there's no Sentinels at all.
Well, they hadn't defined Franklin's powers yet at that point, but yeah, for sure. Like he's ultra powerful. You can see that in the Hickman run. You can even see it back in the Tom DeFalco days with one of our favorite characters we like to always mention, John, Psylord. So
yeah, Psylord, we talk about that. He's a child of the 90s, but yeah, basically he sort of had came from the reality his grandfather came from.
Right.
And he sort of, had his.
They cabled him, basically, right? They cabled him.
Yeah,
like Nathaniel came, whisked him into the future, and raised him, and he came back as a teenager.
I've been
in
trying
the extreme
to find
90s.
Yeah, it was the extreme 90s. One of the sort of weirder Fantastic Four things I found, one of these sort of, I'm not sure if it was an alternate thing or maybe Fantastic Four, the last story. At the very end, Galactus pulls off his helmet, and it's Franklin. Like his power had reached the point where he basically becomes Galactus. And I thought that was both bizarre, but really kind of cool in a way.
Commander Beef.
I guess in the story, Galactus had died or was uncreated or whatever you call it. And Franklin Richards basically became Galactus. Like the father didn't realize it, but the mother did.
There's a bit in the Jonathan Hickman run where Galactus becomes Franklin's herald, basically.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
He just sort of, and then I think it might be, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might be Walt Simonson's run where Franklin in his kind of little black suit goes to see Dr. Doom. And you would think that was like the worst thing you would want to see, but Doom is super careful about how he interacts with Franklin because, he doesn't want to wake up in Candyland or something because, he's Dr. Doom. He knows, like, he's looking at a monitor and he's like, this kid's brainwaves are off the charts. Proceed with caution.
All right, so last signed book of the night, What If? Dark Moon Knight, #1, Silver Signature Series, signed by Erica Schultz. Suggested retail of $69.99. And we've got it for $30 tonight, guys.
Oh, that's really nice.
Hey, Sean, what's going on? All right, let's do a Rex cap. All right, here we go. What?
Kid play. Nice.
All right, here we go. So, as always, we started with Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles. Cover price of $3.99 or higher, and we've got it 5. Then we got the DF Grab Bag 3-pack and a mix of DC, Marvel, and indie titles. And we've got the 3-pack for $5, the DF Grab Bag 7-pack for $10, and a DF Grab Bag 15-pack for $20. And then we've got the X-Men Random 20-pack Grab Bag, 20 random X-Men titles from 1990s with a chance of the 80s or 2000s. Books are 9.0 or better. And we've got that for $20. All right. If you take all 5 of the grab bags, that is a retail value of $60, but we'll do it for half price if you take all 5, and we'll do it at $30.
Wow.
And then
$30, that's a nice haul of comics for $30.
Yeah,
man.
no doubt, right?
Especially when I look at books now, and I guess Robbie's mentioned this. I've had other retailer friends mention this. Books with like $5.99 and $6.99 price tags. That's a hard move. That's a hard move for your LCS, especially if you're an LCS in what I like to consider a blue-collar neighborhood.
So, Preston, if you want a Jennifer Blood 10-pack, we'll put you down for a 10-pack. When you fill out the form, tell us you want just Jennifer Blood, and we're going to do our best to try and make that happen. So I'm going to jot you down. Tell me if you want it or not. All right, bud?
Yeah, I always say this when we're talking about comics or whatever. People know, that I love Dynamite or whatever, but they're always surprised because when what should I be reading? They always assume, you guys think you've heard a lot of Green Hornet.
You got it, Preston.
I've had friends for decades that are sick of hearing about the Green Hornet, but I've told them there are books Dynamite publishes that sort of slide under the radar a little bit. Right now, Dynamite is selling a lot of Gargoyles and, books of that nature, Disney stuff, Thundercats. A book like Jennifer Blood sometimes slides under all that hype and radar. And Jennifer Blood is one of the books I say to someone, if you haven't read this, this is what you should start. Because everybody at some point, especially in our generation, you've read Vampirella somewhere along the line. You kind of know what Red Sonja is all about. Jennifer Blood is a character where it doesn't immediately jump off the page at you.
Right.
And you kind of find out and you're like, wow.
All right. So then we had the Thundercats #1 cover set.
That's number 6 trophy from Sean Butler.
7. It is a 7 cover set with the blank, which is not pictured here. And we've still got it at cover price, people. So for all 7, $34.93. And it is sold out in most places. So that is a deal. All right.
Yeah, Thundercats isn't a real easy get right now. So.
All right. So then we have Justice League No Justice #1 signed with Andromeda cover sketch by Tony Scott.
I like this a lot.
Suggested retail of $149.99. We have this one for $85.
That's worth every bit of $85 too. That is beautiful.
All right. So that's nice, isn't it? I love his work.
Yeah, this is really, like I mentioned earlier, I like this character. If we're ever going to get like a strong Legion of Superheroes book, characters like that should be at the forefront. Not, they always feel like they have to start with the same 3 characters they started with now literally 60 years ago. And I'm like, I love Saturn Girl too, but I'm good.
All right. So then the last sketch cover left, Dawn of DC. Flash #1 signed with Power Girl and Flash cover sketch by Jessica Court. It's just a retail of $149.99, and we've got this one for $85. Yeah,
and Robbie mentioned this. This does really have kind of Alex Ross energy to it.
Right. All right. So then we did. Let's see here. 007 #1 Atlas edition cover J signed by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Suggested retail of $49.99. We've got it tonight for $25. All right.
They always do something special with those Atlas covers, and I love that a lot.
All right. Then next up, Death to the Army of Darkness #1 Atlas edition signed by Ryan Parrott. Suggested retail of $49.99. Got that one for $25. All right, then.
Yeah, Sean, you're right. Philip Kennedy Johnson very much sort of has dialed in 007. And I think, like with any character, some creators dial into it more than others. Right. I mean, even some of the characters that I have, like Vampirella for years, right. There have been Vampirella creators that really kind of understood the character, and others that I think did their level best to craft a very entertaining story. But I think it's just missing, it's not quite hitting its target as well as they'd like to.
All right. So then we have Army of Darkness Forever, #1 movie poster foil variant, signed by Tony Fleeks.
Yeah.
This one's sweet. Nice.
This is sweet.
Suggested retail of $69.99. We've got it sniped for $35. Then we have the Man of Steel #1 signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Suggested retail of $29.99. We've got it for $15. You know what? I'm going to do this one for $10.
Oh wow!
Get it out the door.
He's giving Nick stuff away.
Yep. All right. So then we have X-Men Days of Future Past, Doomsday #1.
Geez, that is crazy for $10. That's
signed by Mark Guggenheim. Just retail $29.99.
Commander and Beef wants.
You got it, Commander.
That's a good pickup at $10. That really is.
All right. So this one is suggested retail $29.99. I got it at $15. I'll do this one for $10.
Breck's going crazy around here, man.
And it's going crazy. This is another book where, it was hard to find. People sort of, I guess, the people that were going to buy it, and that bought it, and that was it.
Right. All right. So then we have What If? Dark Moon Knight #1, Silver Signature Series, signed by Erica Schultz. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have it for $30. I'll do this for $25. All right. All right, so what are we going to do? Let's see. Let's see. All right. Oh, cool, Sean. I'm glad you got some time off, buddy.
Wow, 80 hours.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do we've got some bronze and 1 silver, I think. We've got Avengers, Daredevil, Uncanny X-Men, Marvel Presents. All right, so let's do those. What the heck? Wow. 13-hour shifts. Man, that's rough, buddy.
Well, we've talked about this before. That's why people don't some people just don't last in the culinary industry.
Right.
Sometimes 13 hours is your day, and then you have to come back and do it again and again and again. It doesn't leave a lot of time for real life. And like people who watch The Bear and other things have seen, after a while, you kind of get to the point of, I love cooking and I love this industry, but, maybe I want to have a family. Maybe I want to do something. Maybe I want to travel. And that's just not the reality of it, which is why, to answer some
okay. Before, Sean's in the maritime business.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's why when I had a chance to retire, I did. Because I was 55 and I'd spent more holidays and those kinds of things away from family than were with family. Or I would show up at Thanksgiving at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock, drop off a bunch of food, say hi to people, and be asleep on the couch 10 minutes later. And that's not – it happens to everybody sometimes, but, with me, that was, like 94 to 2012 or something. Right. So –
all right, let's get to the Avengers next. So we've got Avengers King Size Special #4. It is a 9.0. And we've got this for $28.
This is a nice book. What did he say this is going to this is great at?
This one 9.0.
Wow. This is a real good opportunity to sort of, a lot of collectors might have this sort of not in this shape. You know what I mean? I believe I have this book from when I actually bought this book as a little kid.
I don't know who it is down there in the bottom right corner, but I feel bad for him just trying to, he's shooting Hulk with a little pea shooter or something, man. That dude's about to get wrecked.
I was going to say, dude.
You are correct, Marcus. It is square bound.
It is square bound. I used to love king size annuals for the square bound nature. They were very cool.
All right. So then we have Avengers number 135. This one is an 8.0. Got this one for $48.
Iron Man with the nose again.
The nose. The fact that they looked at that and said, this is what we're going with that's just a special kind of different to me.
All right. Next up, we have Avengers number 137. It is an 8.0. And we've got this one for $20.
I'm a huge fan of Beast. I like Beast with the X-Men, but I love and cherish Beast when he's with the Avengers. There's just something different about the character because the Avengers are... I think he goes and chills out with the Avengers sometimes because everything's so sad and depressing and melodramatic with the X-Men, you know? So he has to go and have some fun time.
Of the fight for survival. When you're at, the Avengers Tower, there's an espresso machine in every room. We're at a different level. The X-Men
There's a salary.
Yeah, he's got a salary. Not to mention, in this era, you sort of had him and Wonder Man carousing and chasing girls and all this other kind of stuff.
It's the original comic bromance right there, John, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes they would put him in George Perez, known as an aficionado of Hawaiian shirts, would draw the Beast in a Hawaiian shirt, hey, what's up, everybody? And of course, Captain America would be like, dude, suit up, there's danger. But the fact that the Beast was just wandering around the Avengers Mansion with a Hawaiian shirt, that's a real special time right there.
All right. Then next up, we got Avengers number 138. And this one is a 9.2. And we've got this one for $25. All right. Next up, we got Avengers number 155. This one is a 9.0. Got this one for $15.
This is before you got leisure suit, Nehru jacket, Wonder Man. He was still sort of in Christmas colors.
Sean Butler. Let me see.
When you say the most expensive comic I've ever seen, do you mean physically had or just been in a con and seen, or?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good question.
Yeah,
Becky Bates got it.
For me, it'd be Amazing Fantasy 15. That's probably the most expensive comic I've personally seen.
I guess maybe I would have to say off the top of my head, the original Fantastic Four #1, and I guess maybe it was 2018 or 17. If you've ever been to Comic-Con, you know how Alex Ross doesn't have a booth at Artist Alley. They set up the Alex Ross experience. It's an art gallery and you can walk around or whatever. Well, he essentially recreated the Fantastic Four #1 cover. And I think they were asking $105,000 for this thing. Literally, he had done it one of one. You know what I mean? It colored, painted it. It was a painted cover that he did. So I don't know if that really counts as a comic book so much as maybe just original art.
Right.
But I would say for me personally, both times it's probably going to be Fantastic Four #1.
So, Sean, because I used to work in an auction house and we didn't really specialize in comics, I would say sports cards I've seen more of when you're talking about high dollar, okay, from that perspective. So, and probably the most high dollar card I've ever seen was one that was consigned to the company I was working for, and it was a Honus Wagner T206, and it was one of the higher grades. I don't remember what the grade was, and I don't even remember what we sold it for, to be quite honest with you. And then the second one would have been the Mantle Rookie in high grade. Commander Beef, there you go, buddy.
I saw a Mantle Rookie card when I was in Las Vegas. They were opening up the sports experience, and that was one of their showpiece things. And of course, there's a security guard there, and it's in the whole thing or whatever. The Stanley Cup was there briefly at the time. It was doing its touring thing. I just happened to see what Castle wrote. Yeah. We've had books here, all jokes aside, we've had books here that I haven't wanted to touch. Not like John don't get fingerprints on that, but original art and things where Nick could be like, George Perez drew this. And I'd be like, just hold it up for me to see. Like, I wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, at that level, I mean, what was.
So, at the risk, Marcus, it's such a risk to answer this question because you never know where Marcus is joking or not.
And that's how he's at.
But ironically, okay, first of all, Marcus, you spelled McGuire wrong. But second of all, I actually have. I was in the, well, I guess in a sense, I and my company brokered the sale of 4 McGuire home run baseballs, game used home run baseballs from that from the year of the home run chase.
Marcus just going to Nick's office.
So, yeah, no, Corey Rust never came out of the cube, buddy. Never came out of the cube.
Well, Sean, perfect example. Sean is like, Alex is on the Mount Rushmore for me owning something of his. I have stuff he signed. They did a slipcase for Kingdom Come that both he and Mark Wade signed, which is probably my favorite non-Dynamite thing that I have from them that they signed. But you mean like original art from Alex Ross? I don't know whose budget that's in, quite honestly. Right. I mean, I really don't.
All right, so next up, we got Avengers number 170. Is a 9.4. And we've got it for 15. All right, so then we have Daredevil number 183. It is a 9.2. And I don't know if this looks familiar because we had the sketch cover last week of this exact Daredevil.
You just want to go ahead and send that on to Castle, or you?
All right, Daredevil number 183. It's 9.2, and we've got this for $32.
Yeah, Sean, I can't imagine what a page. I mean, Nick is the original art expert. I can't imagine what any page.
All right, Big John, you got
Alex Ross artwork costs.
I got you, buddy.
I mean, I've met people at cons that have paid $30,000 and $35,000 for his paintings of different things, but I especially if it was a published page, like something like, I guess someone mentioned Marvels. I mean, Robbie, maybe you take a guess. I can't imagine what a page of Marvel's original art could possibly go for.
Actually, Nick can answer that question.
Yeah, Nick would be the expert on that one.
Yeah, I have to believe that it's out of. I mean, I know it's out of my budget.
501. Very simple, buddy. So there is a link pinned at the top of the chat. Okay, click on that link first. To claim something, go ahead and throw it in the chat and say, I claim whatever book it is you're claiming. Then go ahead and click the link, fill out the information so that we have your email, most important of all, ship to address, and we will invoice you the very next day. Shipping is also very simple. $10 up to 6 bag and boarded books anywhere within the continental United States. We don't have any tonight, but if we have slab books, that'll be $17.50 for up to 3 anywhere within the continental United States. If you live in Canada, Hawaii, Alaska, or anywhere international, we do ship international. Fill out the form, and we will figure out what the exact shipping cost to your location is, and we'll bill you after we get the submission form. All right. So,
just like everybody else here in the chat, they've been talking about. I looked up Alex Ross on his website. He sells some of his original covers. Like if it's Spider-Man or Avengers, something Marvel, it's like 20 to 25,000. But he's got Astro City covers for like 5,000 to 6,000. So, but yeah, I mean, if you want something big, name Marvel, recognizable, and DC, probably like that's, yeah, you gotta have some money.
No, I mean, not counting the money, but yeah, I would probably, if I had an option, if I was in that market, I had an option, I would prefer something from Astro City than Astro City is maybe my favorite thing he did. Right. It's sort of him, Kurt Busiek. They sort of captured Brent Anderson. He always gets left out there because Alex did the covers, but Brent Anderson did the interiors. Astro City sort of still gave me hope that they could tell a story in a comic book, because they really, by the time that book came out, the 90s had pretty much, taken a lot of us out.
Neil, what's up, bud?
Comics. The stories were just not there.
All right. So then the last Daredevil number 184. It is also a 9.2, and we've got this. Huh?
Someone cleaned your hat.
Yeah. All right. It's not even worth the price of shipping.
Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, man.
It is a 9.2, and we've got this one for $32. Then finally we have, not finally, Uncanny X-Men number 171. This one is an 8.0. And we've got this one for $18.
I see an Alex Ross page from Marvel's number 1, page 40, sold for $4,100. The one with Galactus on it, where the Fantastic Four are looking up at Galactus, that one sold for $18,000. So
okay, that sounds more what I would have expected than the 4,100.
Dude, the pencil sketch of Mary Jane and Spider-Man kissing, that they used in the credits for Spider-Man 2, that sold for $4,500. And here you go, man. He's got a little pencil sketch of Kato on there that sold for $1,000. I think that's within your budget, John. You might be able to get something.
I actually did, not to sound like a jerk, but yeah, if I saw like an Alex Ross Kato sketch for $1,000, I might have to go to my wife cursing Robbie, because when I get done, I gotta go to alexross.com and see what I'm missing. I just assumed everything would be, ludicrously. I shouldn't say ludicrously priced, because I do feel he is like a Mount Rushmore type artist, but for my budget, I assumed no. I'm out. Although I have to say, as much as I love Astro City, if I could ever afford the page from Kingdom Come where Superman has that disgusted look on his face and like the Next Generation heroes, there might be some movement in the financial portfolio to pick that up, because nothing encapsulated my feeling towards those characters more than the look that Wade has Ross draw on Superman's face. Like, really?
All right. So then we have Marvel Comic Presents Wolverine number 1. And it is a 9.4. And we've got it for $10, people.
I just picked one of those up myself about like a week or two ago. Like, I'm going to break it down on the channel, flip through it.
There you go.
There's almost like a slightly, and I say this not in a negative way, this is almost like a little bit of a weird cover for Wolverine.
It's a Walt Simonson cover, right?
In the background, it's just a little different.
I think this is a Walt Simonson cover, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I see his signature down there in the blades of grass. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a little bit of a different take on Wolverine.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Like, I love this costume. I know this costume is sort of triggering for people. I love this color costume, but the sunburst thing is throwing me off a little bit.
The sunburst? Reflection off his
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Is that supposed to be reflecting off his claws?
I don't know.
I think it's when the claws like hit and it's like sparking or something.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know, man. Walt Simonson's like, all right, let me do this. Let me have some fun with this. Let me put some design elements in there.
Well, I'm just saying, to me, it throws me off a little bit. I say, well, for example, I mean, look at the covers they did for Wolverine Predator. I know people have mixed feelings about that book, but I think some of those covers are like the essence of Wolverine as the character.
The other thing, too, is this is a wraparound cover. So it looks different when you like have the whole thing out, because then it goes off, and then there's like the back cover like has all the other characters that are featured in it or something.
All right, you know what? Now that you say that, that makes like a little bit more. Now I'm understanding it a little bit more.
All right, so then let's see. Here we go.
Well, we are getting a Kingdom Come animated movie, I think, this year.
Are we?
I'm pretty sure we're getting a Kingdom Come animated movie this year, because it was bumped.
I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't remember hearing that. I know haven't they been doing? I don't know. I'm so far out of the loop now when it comes to those DC animated movies. There was a time where I watched every single one. I bought them, right? But aren't they like in the middle of doing like a 3-part Crisis on Infinite Earths or something like
that?
Yeah,
I think it's Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Commander and Beef. Triple B is correct. It is a 9.4, buddy. So let me know.
I'll tell you, as much as I would love to see them do Kingdom Come, I would love to see them sort of redo New Frontier. Because I feel New Frontier sort of slid under the radar a little bit.
New Frontier might be my favorite one out of all of those. Man, New Frontier was great. It was really good. Year One was good too. All-Star Superman was good. Kingdom Come is one they definitely should do, though. I mean, that's perfect for that.
I would be surprised if they didn't do it because, like, it's essentially a multiverse story. Or I guess maybe it started as a Elseworld story. I'm not quite sure how they sort of... Oh, Eddie said it was scrapped, the animated movie.
So, Neil...
Maybe Gunn's got plans, right? Maybe Gunn's got plans. Who knows?
So, Neil, I don't know which blank covers you're talking about, buddy. All right. So, let me get through, because we've got to go to our break in a minute, but let me get through the Dynamite cover sets for the week. Excuse me. Disney Villains, Cruella de Vil, #2 cover set. 5 covers in all in this set. As always, we have it at cover price. Covers by Joshua Middleton, Sweeney Boo, Gretel Lusky, Mariana Puglia, and J. Scott Campbell. And we have them at cover price. So the entire collection is $19.95.
I like the Sweeney Boo cover.
All right. So then next up. Oh, thank you, Sean. All right, so next up we have Gargoyles Dark Ages #6 cover set. 6 covers in all. Covers by Clayton Crane, Alan Quad, Jay Lee, Kenya Danino, Erica Henderson, and Jeff Parker, all at cover price. So for the 6 covers, it's $29.94.
Glad to see Jeff Parker drawing
so then,
again.
All right, so then last one, we have Jennifer Blood, Battle Diary #4 cover set. 4 covers in all. Covers by Joseph Michael Linsner, Lyrics Lee, Robert Carey, and then a 1 in 10 incentive with Linsner line art. That's the one you see on the right-hand side. Yeah, Commander Beef, that's funny. All right, we have this at cover price, $19.96. All right. So, Jay, when do we have to go to break? This last break? I forget. Is it right at 7:30 or?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
All right. So, yeah, check out Nick's show on Friday, guys. You never know. All right. Sean, cracking me up, bro. So, hey, Duelist, what's going on, buddy? So as soon as we come back from break, we will do our second Rex cap of the night. And
good
cover
Corey
all
Russ.
things.
We all want to listen to your page.
Yeah, right.
Don't feel so special.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll do the full Rex cap, and Alex will come in the end to do what the incentives that. Oh, you know what? We do have some FF books that we got to get to as well. Then we'll do the Rex cap. So,
and you know me, that might be a great way for me to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Giving away a wife, and I want to get an Alex Ross page. I think he might be onto something here.
And now we know for certain that John's wife never watches this show ever.
What more can she do to me? Honestly,
I have no idea, dude.
After 25 years, she's taking all her shots. She's punched out.
You look like you live a pretty good life to me, bud.
I told her father that's in spite of her, not because of her.
All right, so Jay, take us a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay with us.
Live from New York. What? Oh, sorry. Live from Cleveland? It's Friday night? It's Friday Night Live! With Nancy McCann. And Ricky. And sometimes Carlos. And featuring boxes and boxes of rare comics. unique collectibles. Lots of smiles and conversations with new friends. Friday Night Live with Comics Unlimited. Friday night from 9 to 11 on The Experience.
By this time in our journey, we had been on the trail of a very elusive creature for about 96 hours. But all the hard work is about to pay off. Oh, crikey, there she is. Oh, by the markings, I'd say this one's at least a 9.8. Oh, she's a real beauty. A true mint copy. Oh, this one will make a fine slab on anyone's display wall. Oh, she's a feisty one, though. Look out, look out!
Mint Hunter Comics is the place to find that mint comic you've been searching for. Mint Hunter Comics, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, part of The Experience.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Hey, we're back. All right, so let's do the FFs. There are only 5 of them. All right. So, all right, and these are bargain basement prices again. So we've got FF number 336, and we've got this one for $4.
Part of the Walt Simonson run.
All right.
Fantastic Four has been blessed with some.
Sean, no problem. But yeah, that sounds. I love the name. Dan's Comic Bigfoot Knows Karate.
Why didn't we think of anything cool like that?
I know, right? All right. So then we have Fantastic Four number 337. And we've got that for $5. And I've got 2 of those.
Oh, this is really like a Simonson cover, isn't it? Like everybody's jammed onto the sled or whatever.
Yeah, I love. They're on the time sled. It's called Rosebud 2. I love it. I love it. Thor making his appearance. I love that early 90s Iron Man armor too.
Yeah, it was very timely. I mean, we look back at it now, almost 30 years later, and you're like, what were they thinking? Well, look at the 90s, and you can see what they were thinking. Look at the other toys. Look at the other stuff that was going on. Believe me, there was a time where that's very cool.
All right. So next up, we have Fantastic Four number 338. Got 2 of these, and we got it for $5.
Are you bringing that Alex Ross original art in that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, right.
All right.
I was actually surprised at some of the prices. Like Robbie said, well, this page is $18,000, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I expected. But then he's like, then there were pages that were like $4,100, and I was like, really?
Were they painted?
No, they probably weren't painted.
So Fantastic Four number 339. And we've got this for $5 as well.
I love that.
If you like Gladiator, this is the book for you.
Yeah, they've always tried. Gladiators had a strange, weird journey through the Marvel universe, like involved with the X-Men, and he was sort of like, with their version of the Legion of Superheroes or whatever. The last I saw this character, he'd essentially just assumed control of his empire, and I thought to myself, that's exactly what a character at Superman's power level does when he's not raised by Ma and Pa Kent.
All right.
I'm not working for you. Are you kidding me?
All right, so last FF book, Fantastic Four number 340, and we've got that for $5. All right, let's do a full recap, and then we'll get to the incentives. All right,
and I just want to say real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to step all over the Rex Cap thing, but real quick, like this is some of the best Fantastic Four there is the Walt Simonson run. I get the question all the time, what to read for FF, and this is a short run that encapsulates everything that's awesome about not just the Fantastic Four, but Walt Simonson as a creator and artist.
You know what my favorite tidbit of information about this run is? Fantastic Four. What number is this?
Gotcha, Robert Pilgrim.
4?
No dupes, buddy.
And what number did Simonson start with Beta Ray Bill? And what number of Amazing Spider-Man did Simonson work on? 337, and Simonson have a very special place together.
There you go.
Every issue with Marvel. Anyway.
+3 + 3 + 7 is 13.
He's a Swiftie.
All right, so here we go.
I'll tell you that right now, though, if you look at the collections of these things, you can draw a line from the Lee Kirby run to the Byrne run to the Simonson run, and you can really see the sort of the different incarnations, the different way people see the Fantastic Four. And I got to tell you, that's some great hardcover stuff to pick up.
Sean Simonson run starts on 337.
I'll tell you what me being a lifelong Fantastic Four fan, John, I know exactly what you just said. You said you don't have to read the Roy Thomas or the Steve Englehart or the Marv Wolfman issue.
Yeah, you should. No, I didn't mean it that way, but I meant, you know what I mean? People generally.
No, I got you. I'm just teasing.
If you're not a Fantastic Four fan, you're going to go into your store and you're going to probably look for the names that are the most familiar to you, right? The most, I hate to say popular, but the most familiar names. And as much respect as I have for Roy Thomas, I don't think his name is nearly as popular to the casual fan as John Byrne or Walt Simonson. I just don't, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way.
All right, so real quick, let's get through the Rex Cap. All right, so we're going to start off with Thundercats #1 cover set, seven covers in all, with the blank, which is not pictured there. We still have it at cover price for $34.93. Then we have Justice League No Justice #1 signed with Andromeda cover sketch by Tony Scott. It's just a retail of $149.99. We've got it for $85.
I was hoping somebody picked this up because I love this book.
Then we have Dawn DC Flash #1 signed with Power Girl and Flash cover sketch by Jessica Court. It's just a retail of $149.99. We've got it for $85. All right, so then we had 007 #1 Atlas cover J signed by Philip Kennedy Johnson. We have it just a retail $49.99. We have it at $25. I'll lower that to $20. I can't believe it's still here.
Wait, didn't somebody buy this or lower?
No,
Wait, all right,
it did not.
Okay.
All right, so then Death of the Army of Darkness #1 Atlas edition signed by Ryan Parrott. It's just a retail of $49.99. We have it at $25. I'll lower that to $20. All right. So then we have Army of Darkness Forever #1 movie poster foil variant signed by Tony Fleeks. It's just a retail of $69.99. I have it at $25. I'll do that for $30. Was that the Flash or the Flesh?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So then we've got X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday #1 signed by Mark Guggenheim.
Nice.
It's just a retail $29.99. I had it 15 and then lowered that to 10. Then we have What If Dark Moon Knight #1 Silver Signature Series signed by Erica Schultz. It's just a retail $69.99. We had it at 30. I lowered that to 25.
Maverick wants the X-Men.
All right,
I'm glad got it, Maverick. People were paying more than that when that book came out, and they couldn't find it in stores.
Right. Okay, gotcha, Maverick. You're good. All right, so then Avengers King Size Special #4 9.0. We got that for 28. Then we had Avengers #135. It is an 8.0, and we've got that for 48. Then Avengers #137. It is an 8.0, and we've got that for 20. Then we had Avengers number 155. It is a 9.0, and we've got that for 15.
This is a great way to kind of upgrade some of those 1970s books that you don't realize how bad shape they're in because they've been in your long box for so long. But from experience, I'll tell you, you're going to peek in that box and go, oh, no.
All right, so then we had Avengers number 170. It is 9.4, and we've got that for $15. Then Daredevil number 184. It is 9.2, and we've got that for $32. Then we have Uncanny X-Men number 171. It is an 8.0, and we've got this for $18. All right, so then all right, so we had 2 of each of these FFs. Other than that, Roger Pilgrim took the whole run of 5. So this one, number 337, FF number 337. We have another one available at $5. And Fantastic Four number 338. We have one more left at $5. Becky is claiming Avengers 170. Gotcha, Becky.
That's She-Thing, though, right? With the tank top on?
Yes, it is. This is, yeah. In this era, Ben was cured, right? And he was in a robot thing suit. But this is a She-Thing right there.
Sharon Ventura?
Yeah, Sharon Ventura, who was from the John Byrne days, right? When the Thing had his solo title and he was a wrestler. He was a professional wrestler.
All right, so
the truth is, you could see Ben Grimm being a pro wrestling fan. That was like by the time Byrne is on that book, we know enough about Ben Grimm that stuff won't surprise you. He's like a pro wrestling fan.
You got it.
I thought Ben Grimm is a wrestler.
Well, he was, but back then he was just sort of.
Isn't he The Rock?
Gotcha, duelist.
Man, Jay had that ready. As soon as Alex started speaking, Jay was ready.
Alex walked in and Jay was like, "Oh, you know what?
Triple B, it is an 8.0, buddy.
That was so good. That was so good.
Why's Gavin making the sad face?
I'm not sure.
Because it was of the joke. Probably.
Was it the joke? It wasn't that bad, man.
So let me know, Triple B, if you want it, buddy.
Wait for Amy to come back in here. What did I tell you about making jokes on the show?
Eddie, this is for you. Thing Ring, do your thing. What a weird cartoon. Y'all remember that?
Alex, Marvel Superhero Hour or something? Or
I don't remember what it was. But yeah, the Thing. I remember watching reruns of that on Cartoon Network back in the day.
Yeah.
Like in the 90s. That's where for the first time I got to watch the Fantastic Four cartoon from the 60s and that Thing cartoon and Space Ghost and Birdman. I missed that stuff. By the way, Space Ghost coming up with David Pepose. That's going to be awesome.
I was going to say Space Ghost is coming back.
All right. So, Alex, you got the incentives?
I do.
All right. Let's do it.
Wonderful. Before I show off the incentives, I want to talk about the book that is out this week, which is the Dynamite website exclusive, Fire and Ice, Tigra #1. This is the only 100 copies printed. And these are $20 each. So if anybody wants a copy of the website exclusive, Fire and Ice Tigra, Dan Panosian's line art, they are $20 each, and there are only 100 copies total. And to go with that, as a special, we have Vampirella 666. This is the Lucio Purio foil and the light glare variant. Lucio Purio foil, signed by Christopher Priest. And these are $40. However, we have 4 copies left of this book, signed by Priest, also signed by Nick Barucci for $66.66. So, if anybody wants a copy of Vampirella 666 signed by Priest, it is $40, or 4 copies left, signed by Priest and Barucci for $66.66. If you guys want any of those, just say claim, and we'll make sure you get it.
That's awesome.
Yes, Preston, the third cover, the Frank Cho cover for Space Ghost, is an old Gold Key homage cover.
Yep.
And it's not announced yet, but I believe I will be doing a website exclusive with that cover. So
just to update you real quick, John in particular, I watched Fire and Ice for the first time a couple weeks ago with a group of friends. We had a great time watching it. We were drinking beers, eating pizza, watching that. It was Alabama pizza, but we were eating pizza. We were watching Fire and Ice and having nice discourse about the amounts of butts in the movie. So.
You know what? That Fire and Ice is exactly that movie where you get a bunch of friends together. Maybe you haven't seen it for a while. Maybe it's guys you've known for a long time, and you just grab some food and you put it on, and you kind of forget. This was a very cool, especially when you contextualize it for the time. This was really cool for the time it came out.
It was great. It set me perfectly up for Tigra. When that one shot came out, I got to read it. I was like, okay, now I'm plugged in. I get it. I know what's up. It's a wonderful film.
Let's hit the incentives.
Preston, just to confirm, the regular Frank show is going to be a regular cover, so you can get your version. The one I'll do for the website exclusive, I'll announce, but I'll write your name down and I'll reach out to you when I know what's going on. Great exclusives out this week. A lot of them have already sold. I'll show you what's left. The Dead X-Men book is gone, just so everyone knows. Just telling you right now, the Thrawn book is on the Hot 10 list. So when we get there, just know that the Thrawn book is on the Hot 10 list. We're going to start with Miles Morales. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 17. Look at the... Oh, yeah, that's right. Look at the beautiful colors on this book. Like the coloring is great, it's bright, it's very vibrant. This is the 1 in 25 Ario Anindito, and it's selling at $25. We've got it tonight under market at $20. We have 4 copies left. That is all that remains from this book. It has sold well this week. So if anybody wants any of the last 4 remaining copies at $20, this is what's left. Ario Anindito, Miles, number 17. If you like Mysterio with his helmet cracked, this is the book for you. Moving on to Spider-Punk Arms Race, number 1. 1 in 25. This is my favorite cover image of the week. Maria Wolf blew it out of the park with that. Look at all the detail, the coloring. It almost has a Daniel Warren Johnson coloring to it, the way I feel. But I love the details on this book. Hobby is a lefty for some reason, playing guitar lefty. But this is the 1 in 25 Maria Wolf. These are selling at $35 to $30. We're going to beat the market price. We're going to be at $25. We have sold a bunch of these. We only have 3 left. These are $25 each. We'll limit it 1 per person to start, just to make sure if anybody wants one, they can get it. But we have 3 left. They are $25 each. And again, this is the 1 in 25 Maria Wolf, who is doing a private CGC signing at CGC in the coming months. So if you want this book signed and encapsulated, there's a signing coming up.
I met her last year at Heroes Con. Got to have a good conversation with her at the bar one night, and such a cool person. Great artist, but a very cool person. She was a super groovy person.
I really like this book. But what's confusing is he's a lefty there, but Jay, show the next image. The 1 in 100 Olivier Coipel Spider-Man Arms Race. That's a righty guitar. Well, if he's a spider, he has 8 arms. He's ambidextrous. There you go.
Maybe he's like Jimi Hendrix and he strings it backwards or something.
I was going to say, you don't know.
I did the research. Maybe.
Maybe.
So half of your work week was figuring out the guitars.
Yes. So this is actively selling at $125. Like sold eBay pricing. We're going to beat that by $25. And we're going to have this. We have 1 copy available at $100. But if you buy this copy at $100 and you want the other copy too, I'll throw this in and we'll take $10 off and we'll make both of these $115. So $100 for the Olivier Coipel, $115 for both if you want both. Sean, correct. That was the 1 in 25 in my hands. The 1 in 100 is right there. 25 for this, 100 for that, 115 for both. And we only have 1 available of that. Arms Race. Yeah, exactly, CJ.
You got it, Sean.
Awesome. So that's 25 for that one. Of course, Sean, if at any point you do want the 100, we'll knock that down to $15 and we'll get it for $100. So here is the number 10 hot book of the week. Star Wars Thrawn Alliance is number 2. The consensus is that this is actually one of the better covers from the Thrawn books or any of the Thrawn series recently. This is the 1 in 25 Lionel Francis view, and this, of course, has Anakin Skywalker right up front in front of Thrawn with a beautiful blue glow. The 1 in 25 is selling at ratio at $25, and I checked today on the Hot 10 list. This book is selling $35 to $40. I am not kidding. Check the Hot 10 list, cbsi.com. This is book number 10. We're going to honor the price from before the weekend, so I'm not going to upcharge this book. However, I can tell you after tonight, if we have copies that are still available, they will be put on the website at market, a little bit under market price. So right now we're half of the market price. We didn't increase the price because it jumped over the weekend. But again, this book is selling $35 to $40. We have it at $20 tonight. Thrawn Alliance is number 2, which adapts the novel Thrawn Alliances by Timothy Zahn.
You know, I'm going to tell you, at first I thought you said Thong Alliances, and I got really excited, but this isn't too bad either.
No, this is written by Timothy Zahn, not Cisco.
It's got dumps like a truck, y'all.
Roger Pilgrim claim one. Guys, I am being serious. I did check the pricing. They are double what we are asking for tonight. So at $20,
you got it, Roger.
If you guys want to flip, you guys can flip it yourself. But $20 for this book that's selling for $35 to $40. If you like Star Wars, like Thrawn, it's right here.
It is a gorgeous cover too.
You missed out.
It is a gorgeous cover, and it would not surprise me if somehow Disney finally gets it together, works out some stuff with Timothy Zahn, and they get to finally like really push Thrawn ahead into I know that he appeared, I think, in Ahsoka or something, but like,
and he'll be in the movie. It's the upcoming Mandalorian movie. But what I see happening is just like the Disney Plus for Marvel. How about What If? Heir to the Empire. Let's put it out there. We got 3 books left. It's the What If Venom series. What If Venom. First one is the 1 in 10. And as a special, if you're watching this, we're going to have this at cover price. You heard me right. What If Venom. This is not a dark book. It's just a regular Venom. What If Venom. 1 in 10 at cover price. That is crazy, but I want to do it for you guys. Cover price for the 1 in 10 right there. She-Hulk Venom design variant. That's 5. In-Hyuk Lee has a cover, which is the 1 in 25 She-Hulk Venom, She-Venom Hulk. We've got this for $15. Great In-Hyuk Lee cover. The art is beautiful on that. That is $15. And finally, my favorite, even though I love the Maria Wolf art on that, this is my ultimate cover. The 1 in 100, the John Boy Myers Sensational She-Hulk #1 homage cover. Okay, now this is your last chance. If you don't buy our book this time, we're going to come to your house and rip up all your Venom. Also,
we are absolutely not going to do that.
No. Does this count as a Spidey 300 homage cover? Technically, it does. So, again, this 1 in 100 is also actively selling at $125, but we're going to honor the $100 price for this one. So, $100 for this. But if you want all 3 What If Venoms, instead of having it for $120, we're going to do it at $110.
See you, Commander.
See you, CIB. So all 3 Venom What Ifs tonight. $120 marked down to $110 if you take all 3. And that is the What If Venom. Those are the incentives of this week. If you're watching this on repeat and these books are still available, you can comment. The Thrawn may not be still available, However, as long as we have copies available today and tomorrow, we'll honor that price before it's been out for a full week. So, again, Thrawn is at $20 for the 1 in 25. And then, if you have any questions on incentives, there you go.
All right. So, Robbie, what do you got, Captain tonight, bud?
Well, we are now officially in March Madness time over at PCP Movie Night and our associated channels. And tonight we're kicking off our portion of March Madness with 1933's The Invisible Man, starring Claude Rains, directed by James Whale. What a great movie.
I watched it this morning. It's a great watch.
Roger Pilgrim will take the 1 in 25 for 10.
He asked if we could do that.
All right.
For the Thrawn, I'm going to say, unfortunately, not at the moment. Did you mean another?
You talking Thrawn or Venom, buddy?
The What If 1 in 25 in Hyuk Lee, this is $15. But if you get all three ratios, it drops from 120.
Roger, clarify which one you're talking about. Are you talking about the What If? If you're talking about the What If 125 in Hyuk Lee, I'll do it for you for 10, buddy. All right, you've been a What If? You got it, buddy.
Awesome.
So absolutely check out Robbie's show tonight.
So
wait, Jay, what do we have coming up next?
All right, so Robbie's show, and then what's up on the EXP, Jay?
So we're going to have a little bit of a break, and at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, we're going to have the Devil's Advocates with Kyle and Bronze Age Nerd.
Cool.
And they're going to be talking about a bunch of different stuff, but the main thing is alphabetizing your comics.
Now I want a burger.
Now I want a burger.
But the only place I can go to is Wawa with their microwave burger.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. But
why is that the only place you can go to get a burger?
No,
there's places.
But there's you'll take Thrawn. Gotcha, Becky Bate. Hold on.
He'd have to drive far.
He's like, I have to take a left turn. I don't take left turns on the way home.
There's a bar in Atlantic City that does killer after dark cheeseburgers.
Yeah, it's just they're I don't know. Since pandemic, restaurants seem to close earlier. I don't know.
Tony's Baltimore Grill.
Why are you going to AC for a burger, bro?
Their burgers are delicious.
That's an hour there and an hour back, man. I don't want a burger that bad.
That's what Audible's
I'll just get McDonald's and look at Kyle's picture.
Oh,
yeah. Do a little
that doesn't work, man.
What are you talking about? So we'll be back on Wednesday. Don't forget, me and Amy are on PCP on Friday. Actually, I will not be. I'm sorry. That's right. I'm out of the office. So maybe just Amy, unless John wants to come in and do an hour with Amy on Friday for the topic.
You should, John. That'd be fun.
I'll have to see I'll have to submit an invoice and see what Nick says.
Packed retirement schedule. And then of course, Nick will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern on Friday with original art. A lot of conversation about original art, so you might want to check that out. So, all right. So, as always, we love it. We love everybody in the group. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, John.
Thank you. People picked up great stuff. Robbie, thanks for joining us. Always,
Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it.
John,
Eddie, I will not be seeing Madam Web again. That was one and done.
Even Morbius got multiple viewings by John. 3, I believe.
I thought it was possibly maybe just me having an off day or something, but now that I've had the Morbius experience more than once, I kind of know what's up with Sony. You don't know how to make comic book movies.
Well, you're just figuring that out, bro. I figured that out like 12 years ago.
They don't quite get it. It's I'm sure some of the other Sony movies are wonderful, but
so all right. Thank you as always, everyone. We love you. Okay, we'll see. I'll be back here on Wednesday. Maybe John will join Amy on Friday. Who knows?
I have PrinceCon on Friday, I think.
You have what?
PrinceCon on Friday.
Oh, dude, you don't know. It's only.
Oh, don't worry. I got a good plan for me and Amy on Friday. You just wait and see. It'll be the most viewed show that we've ever done.
He doesn't even know if he's going, dude. He doesn't make a decision until the very last second. Where were you going to go?
PrinceCon.
No, where were you going to go last week?
Oh, I was very much thinking of going down to Greensboro Coliseum to see Sting's last match. And I would have paid for the ticket prices.
And he changed his mind. retired guys can do that. All right. So we are out of here. Thank you guys.
Thanks everybody. Have a
See you
great
next time.
night.
Have a great night.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.